when we are doing a developer is doing something that has to do with developing anything, the first thing that you go to the documentations, right? Documentations, the goal for the documentations is to guide you step by step on how to install the tools, how to use them, how the libraries looks, how the interaction between components in the software works. Okay, so it's very, very standardized. You always get the installation part, like a very quick guide that can jumpstart the development for you in like few steps within few minutes. And then it starts to go, like you're going to dive into what is actually happening, how the configuration look like, what the library looks like, how they talk to each other. Okay, so this is usually what's happening. So if we're going to documentation, right, this is what we send the clients constantly, and we're going to hit quick start. And in the quick start, that's the very fast guide on how to set up the environment. The installation part. If we go to the installation part, click the installation part, we are recommending to all the developers to use the CLI. CLI is a shortcut for command line interface. And instead of having a user interface on a browser, we developers always prefer the terminal where we can.
And obviously, is it mandatory to use our own CLI?
Because our own CLI.
We don't recommend.
No. You can use this one instead. It's mandatory to use one of our components, one part of the SDK at least, in order to communicate with our infrastructure somehow.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, the CLI is the easiest way.
Okay.
So to do that, what the developer needs to do, first of all, he needs to have something called NodeJS installed on his computer. And NodeJS is it's basically JavaScript, the programming language, but for the backend. Okay. So if I will go, let me share instead of So basically, Node.js org. Node.js, that's the programming language. There are multiple versions, and once you have that installed, multiple ways to install it. Together with Node.js, the programming language, you also get something called NPM. And NPM is Node Package Manager. And Node Package Manager allows this very interesting collaboration between different packages and a new software that you run. So for example, if I want to write software that does, let's say, some mathematical calculation, I can write my own sum function, my own multiplication functions, and my own maximum functions. Or using NPM, I can install a math library that already have all those functions formed. Okay. Now, this is exactly what we are doing as a company. We are offering a package that already does a lot of the things for you. And all of those things are basically interacting with our internal infrastructure, allowing development environment, allowing to manage all the components, to create projects very quickly. Now, once you installed Node.js, you get NPM, and the moment you open the terminal, you can copy and paste that line into the terminal.
So the CLI comes with everything already.
So npm install -g at RELE.CLI. That's the command. I won't run it because I already have it installed on my computer. Now, once you've done the installation, you need to authenticate. Is that it goes to the console, it asks for credentials, your user credentials with Relay, and this way you can interact with your organization. You can develop and deploy and manage users.
It attaches the client console ID per se with the
terminal. With the CLI, yes, exactly. So the way that it works is that the moment you install the CLI, in your terminal, there will appear a new command called RB. That's the shortcut for our CLI. And once you authenticate, it basically opens the console, okay, in your web page. And the moment that the web page is open, the console is open, you can either log into it if you already have an account, or you can create a new account. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you created it before or after. At the end of the day, basically what it does, it's opening the console for you, allowing you to authenticate and authorize the CLI on your specific account. Okay, so we will do it now. I deleted my development account, and I'm going to authenticate. RB, house, login. Okay, you see what's happening? Since I deleted my account, and I've ended up on the home page, right? Now I'm going to continue with my Google account. Okay, so since I did the RB house login, it automatically directed me instead to the user management to this page where I can authorize my CLI, right? RB CLI.
Right.
So I'm going to hit authorize. And you see, RELE CLI login successful. From this point onward, I'm authenticated. My terminal, my RD tool is now associated with my user in Relay and can manage the organization, the workflows, the integrations, the apps, and so on. Okay?
Okay.
So what did we get when we installed this tool, RB, the CLI? If I'm going to do --help, I can see all the options that I have. Okay, so I can manage applications or actions, the authentication, deployments, translation, workflows. I can also apply configurations.
And this --help, it's also written. That's also made available. I mean, this --help is in the SDK documentation.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And everything that is written on here is also written on the docs.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, by the way, if I will go here, docs CLI, and I go to authorization, you see house, login, logout, config management, app list, workflow, everything is here. Right. So basically what you see on the CLI, you also see here on the docs. It's the same.
Okay. Cool.
Now, so you can apply configurations, you can delete configurations, and if you want to dive in a little bit deeper, so you can choose, let's say, a topic, let's say app --help, and you can now see one layer deeper, right? So if I want to list my available applications, whatever is listed on the system, so I can do RB app list, right? And now I will get all the publicly available applications and my applications. So since I just created the account, I don't have any public applications. Sorry, I don't have any applications associated with my account. I only have public applications. So Core, Salesforce, WhatsApp, right? All the predefined things, mailing. Okay, so those are all the predefined applications.